Moments podcast with me, Shangshang Cai. In this show, I am going to talk to artists, academics, industry practitioners, and entrepreneurs from a variety of backgrounds, each of whom is committed to imagining a better tomorrow and working to make it a reality. Some of their experiences are experimental, some are highly practical and ambitious. Most importantly, each dialogue is imaginative, because we want to engage in dialogue with people from all over the world who are curious about life, to enjoy a moment together, to seize the moment, to seize eternity. Join me and these amazing people as they experience life as it's meant to be lived. Hello everyone, welcome to Moments podcast. Today I'm going to talk with a new friend. We actually met yesterday on BAFTSS conference. It's such an honor to meet Mr. James Dunlop MBE and get to know that he has worked as a director, producer, editor, and script supervisor for the bands of H.M. Royer, Marines, developing a professional film until to deliver live broadcasts and videos which attract audiences in the tens of millions across television and social media. He has been successfully doing a wonderful job in his own career. So, let's welcome Mr. James Dunlop MBE.
Shuang, thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, my new friend.
Yes.
So, yeah. For me, it's quite a shock that last night we just met. We just became new friends, right? Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, you started to speak some Mandarin,
Yes.
How is that? When did you start to learn Chinese? Can you share a little bit about,
You were surprised, weren't you? Did not a lot of British people learn Mandarin?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I learnt it because my daughter currently learns it. She's 6 years old, and we put her onto Mandarin because we thought it would be a fantastic challenge, to be honest. Mm-hmm. It's a great language, and I think it's got a lot. I think it's got a lot of value. Speaking personally, I did French at school when I was young, and I did 5 years of French, and my French is terrible. And you go to France today, and a lot of people speak English. You go to Germany today, and a lot of people speak English. Mm-hmm. So I sort of looked at this, and I went, for my daughter, well, what's the point of my daughter learning 5 years of French when I didn't even benefit from it? Mm-hmm. And as I say, a lot of them speak English now anyway. And so I wanted my daughter to have something that had a bit more importance. And I thought that was Mandarin.
And you started to learn the same language with your daughter at the same time, or?
So what I know a little bit, my daughter is very good. I think she's been doing it about a year and a half, maybe coming up to 2 years now. Yeah. She's excellent at it. Woo-hoo. I know little key words and phrases that I've sort of picked up along the way. But
like you said, you are not entering the same classroom with your daughter, right? You are learning by yourself with apps, right?
Online, yeah, apps online, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we need to progress into like having you meet my daughter. And actually
on Instagram, yes,
yes, and actually conversing to and fro in Mandarin. I think that's really the next level we need to go to.
Wow.
But yeah, it's going really well. She loves it. Yeah, my wife loves it. I love it. It's good.
So you reckon that Mandarin or China is going to be the next power? That's the reason that you are going to learn Mandarin to some point, right?
I think it's very important in our lifetimes, in my daughter's lifetime, yeah, I think it's a very important language that more people should know. Yeah.
Can you share what have you learned?
What have I learned?
Yes.
Ni hao, shuang shuang.
Ni hao.
Oh gosh, what else do I know? Numbers.
The counting, right?
Yes, I know numbers. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 what's the next one? I can't remember.
9
9
10
11
1
12 13 14 15
Oh,
yeah, I'm not great, but I can keep
already
going.
doing a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then what else do I remember? Pingua.
Yeah.
What was banana?
香蕉.
That one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Do you want to learn something more?
Yes, why not?
What kind of words do you want to learn at the moment?
I know Wu I Ni.
Ah, I love you, right?
Yeah, I say that to my wife. Wu I Ni.
Ooh. What else you want to learn at the moment, right now?
What's something romantic I can say to my wife in Mandarin?
Because that's a cultural gap between Western people and Chinese people, because Chinese people don't often say I love you.
Do they not?
No, it's too much. It's too much for us to say 我爱你, I love you in our daily life.
Oh, okay. So
we hardly ever say this to my parents or relatives, hardly ever. It would be really awkward or weird for us to say. That's it.
So you don't say anything, or was there an alternative?
I think we hardly ever, express love directly. We just hide it. That's our culture.
So do you show it through actions, through seeing your parents, seeing your friends, seeing your loved ones?
I think probably between friends and between lovers, partners, we do. But specifically in family scope, we don't say I love you that much.
Really?
Yeah, it's a weird culture, but anyway, let me teach you something. Probably it's a little bit hard.
Okay,
because it's an Asian Chinese phrase. 执子之手.
Oh wow.
执
子
子
子
之手
之手
与子偕老 与子 偕老 which means I would like to hold your hands for our entire lifetime.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, 执子之手与子偕老. Even when we get older, I still want to hold your hands.
Okay, but that's romantic.
Yeah,
that's really nice.
It's an Asian Chinese phrase, like Shakespeare's language.
Yes.
Yeah, it's quite Asian. But anyway, practice it more later on.
Yes, I'll re-listen to that when this podcast comes out, and I'll solidify it in my head. 执
子之手与子偕老. Yeah, if you say this to your wife, probably she would not understand at all, right?
Yeah, but when I told her, when I say what it means, she'd love it.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Lovely.
Yeah,
I want to hold your hand for a lifetime.
Till the end of our entire life.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
That is nice. I do like that. Thank you. After
I get to know more about you, I kind of find out that you are such an amazing professional filmmaker,
I'm giving Shuang Shuang a crazy face right now.
Because during the conference, you assume that everybody is just doing their academic work, everybody is doing their first year, second year, fourth year, whatever, PhD, some of them are becoming assistant professor, whatever. Mm-hmm. But actually, you are doing an amazing job in your own industry. And you have multiple roles, as a director, producer, editor, and even you have navigated the diverse fields of military ceremonies, music videos and documentaries. So my question here is there a consistent creative philosophy behind this seemingly vastly different projects?
That's a good question. Is there? I don't know. I think when as a creative you work on lots of different projects, I think you are working towards what you as the director, as the producer, as the auteur, whatever terminology you want to use. I think you're putting across your art, no matter what the project is. You're putting your vision there, and you sort of mold it to your vision within the specs of what's required for the job. So I think it also depends whether it's a personal project for yourself or if you've been commissioned to do it and actually you have to do it based on a certain way that's been dictated for you. But I think no matter what, your own personal flair, your own philosophy and the way you do your work is very much intrinsically linked with everything you do. So yes, yeah, I would have said so.
But compared to what you have said, is it because of the budget of each production or whatever that makes you do multi-role playing during the whole process of filming a film?
Well, I'm involved in all phases of pre-production, production, and post-production of everything I do, which is fantastic, and it puts me in a lucky position whereby I do have a lot of sort of creative input into how things look. It is really, really good and really fun, and I'm quite lucky that I get to work on lots of different projects, because many people in industry will have to stick with one area. If that's documentary, if that's live television, if that's music videos or commercials, you tend to get stuck down that one avenue. I'm fortunate whereby, yes, I've been able to do lots of different things and get my fingers in many pies, as we say, and have a lot of fun along the way.
Do you deliberately, seek for opportunities, or, there's so many producers or directors or whatever, they just believe you and then let you, be engaged in different projects?
Yeah.
Doing creative industry, it's always like seeking opportunities, waiting opportunities, or...
Yes, people come to you with a requirement, and you do your best to deliver that requirement within their vision, within your vision, and you're always looking around and exploring new options and working out new ways of doing things, or sort of thinking, this venue I wanted to do a music video in, this is the right music video that's just come along to film in that venue I wanted to do a year ago. And you do it. Of course, budget plays a huge part. In everything we do. But it's it is amazing to be able to work on so many different projects.
Because I am doing theatre and performance studies, right? In theatre performance industry, I think each project is just always lack of money. And personally speaking, every project that I had been engaged in, multiple jobs as a director, scriptwriter, stage manager, even sometimes, you have to handle all the responsibilities at the same time. And sometimes at the end of the job, you kind of start to talk to yourself, what am I doing at the moment? Should I just give up? Is there any similar, opinions, occurred to your mind compared to what I have said? Like giving up, I'm not going to do that anymore. That's enough for me, done.
To be honest, no. Do you sort of speak from a writer's block point of view?
No, no matter you are a writer or director, it's just at a specific point you kind of think of, I was stuck.
I hear you, and yes, of course, that's an eventuality that can come. I think, from my experience, most of what I've worked on, predominantly what I've worked on in my career, is commercial, is being commissioned, has some form of budget, has a delivery expectation, has a purpose. So I've never been really in a position whereby I can start a project and then just basically not finish it because of whatever reason I got bored or I didn't want to do it or whatever. I that's not really a mindset I've been allowed to have. And to be honest, I think it's not a good one to have. I think it's being able to commit to yourself, right, I've got this project, we're going to deliver this theatre show with this performance or whatever, and I think no matter what, we do it. And yes, in the context of theatre, even if budget's an issue and we can't afford to be able to hire out the theatre to be able to put on the play, well, hang on a sec, the arts building at the University of Warwick that we're sat in right now has got a huge, amazing foyer right at the front, and actually I'm sure you could just do your performance right there. You know what I mean? And not waste it and still gain all the experience. Just like required.
We are using this studio room at the moment.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Ooh. Then I would say you are lucky. Right?
I don't think it's luck. I think it's just more where you've been positioned, where your experience comes from, and most of my experience comes from actually doing all of this sort of creative work within the commercial world, where you don't have the luxury of, not that it is a luxury, of being able to start projects but not end them. Once a project started, it must be delivered by this date for this client or this individual or whatever it is, and you do it no matter what.
Which is luck, I think.
I don't know. Maybe. I think it's the same. It's the same for most freelancers. I think if you were in a creative industry, if you were in film, if you were in television, even if you were an artist, I think if you approached jobs constantly and didn't quite get to completion, I think you'd struggle. Think about it. If you're an artist and you've got your own art studio and you can start loads of paintings, but you can't actually finish the paintings.
Yeah, because no one is
You've got
going
nothing
to pay
to sell.
For them, right?
Exactly. And then that money feeds into your life and the art gallery and the next painting. So you have to finish.
Yeah. Otherwise, the paintings would just fulfill your own house, your own room, and then...
Yeah, exactly. Unless that's your style and you sell half-finished paintings.
Or unless your parents are...
Yes, unless
enough.
Unless a rich person can buy all of your paintings.
Yeah. Well, actually, last night I Googled you a lot.
Oh gosh, what did you find?
I did a lot of research about you, and I noticed that once you have said, we should never stop trying to make our mark on the world. So did
I say that?
You said.
I think
it's on the website.
Okay. You're quoting me from somewhere. Okay. Yep.
So is that why you choose to making documentary film specifically, especially on your YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Filming others at the same time filming yourself.
Yeah.
That's really.
You should never stop making a mark. Yeah, I probably did say that. Yeah, it's true. As I'm a creative. You are a creative, and we like to make projects and do things for audiences, don't we? If that's theatre or if that's making films or documentaries or television or whatever it is. Yeah, it's we're making these things for other people. We want to show other people these things and we want to make a mark on other people's lives, I guess. But I think that's the mindset of any creative, or should be the mindset of any creative. I think it's a good one to live by.
But what's the reason that made you make the decision that while filming others, but filming yourself at the same time?
Yes. So this is what my PhD is all about.
Okay.
Yes. So my PhD specifically is documentary. And I'll get a little bit geeky for a second. So one of the modes of documentary is called participatory documentary. That's where the filmmaker is involved in the documentary and is a part of it. So you can hear the filmmaker's voice, or you can see the filmmaker in front of the camera. Okay. Now, one sort of very popular mode of participatory documentary, one popular style, is to self-shoot the documentary, hold the camera physically as the filmmaker, talk to your contributor and make your documentary, but because you are holding the camera, you are heard as a filmmaker behind the camera asking the questions, but you're never seen in the documentary. And this is a style that's very popular with documentarians such as Mark Isaacs or Molly Dineen. They're very good at doing it, and it's effectively the styles that made their careers. So we've got that, and we park that for a second, and then we've got another idea, and it's a cinematographic style that's utilised a little bit in reality television, whereby the wearer effectively of a rig films themselves. Okay. And it first started on a TV show called MTV Sphere, where contestants were sent into haunted locations, asked to film themselves. Because if someone goes into a haunted house with a camera crew, they're not going to feel scared, are they? Because there's loads of people in the room that are following them. It's not scary. So you send a person in by themselves. But how do you film them if they're by themselves? So what the production team did, this is back in 2000, they gave each person that went into one of these haunted houses a
GoPro.
GoPros weren't invented back then.
Oh, okay.
Before the time of GoPros. They held one camera that was effectively their eyes, their first-person point of view, and then they wore this camera rig with a second camera that was on effectively an arm that came out from the body, forward in front of themselves, with a camera on the end that would point back and stare back at your face. And so each one of these contestants had these two cameras.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a crazy rig, and over the years it's been utilised in other shows such as Discovery Plus with Josh Gates, if anyone watches him, or another guy called Tim Noonan has used it. Dan Etheridge have used it all in TV in different shows. More recently in Discovery Plus shows. But anyway, so we've got that idea, and we've got self-shooting participatory documentary. And I one day turned around and went, well, hang on a sec. These two have never actually been put together. It's never been done. It literally doesn't exist in television. So that's my PhD.
That's your research gap.
That is the knowledge gap that allows me to do a PhD. Yeah, no one's done this format before, where you, in simple terms, you imagine a Louis Theroux documentary, but instead of Louis Theroux being stood in front of the camera, Louis holds the camera, physically holds the camera, and films his documentary holding the camera, but then also has a second camera connected to Louis filming himself. And so Louis goes around the mega jail or whatever documentary that he does by himself with these two cameras filming. It's a new format that doesn't exist.
But I wonder, how is the process, when you were filming yourself? Do you feel any interruption of your, professional work, or?
No, it's deceivingly hard to do. You can watch one of these documentaries, and all my PhD documentaries are online on YouTube, and it's a lot harder than it looks, because you are the presenter, you're the camera operator,
Interviewer.
You're the interviewer. You're the sound person. Yep, you're literally doing every single job. You need to interview the person at the same time that you film them.
Yeah, and you have to edit by yourself.
Yep.
At the end.
Yep, I then edit all of it at the end as well. Yeah, it's hard.
Loads of work.
It is loads of work.
Oh,
but it's for a PhD and it makes it worthwhile and I think it's important because no one else is doing this. So it's exciting for me to be able to try this for the first time and then also be able to academically define it, actually give it a name and say to people, right, if you're filming in this certain way, in this certain style, it's actually got this name. I think that's really exciting. I quite like that.
My next question would probably be, after you probably have a proper name for it or whatever, do you reckon or do you assume any, positive or negative outcome of this particular way of producing film?
That's a very good question. Positive or negative outcomes? Do you? There's many answers there. Do you want me to answer in terms of the filming part or the delivery part? Because there's both. Both. Okay. So filming, positive, negative outcomes. It's hard to do. I think that's one of the big ones. It is hard to pull off. It's exhausting. You've got a 10, 12 kilogram camera on your shoulder, which is very heavy. And after hours of shooting, it's tough. But I've spoken to contributors and they quite like doing it. They enjoy it. They don't mind at all. But they know that they're in a documentary that's going to go out and be seen, and I think that's got its own sort of positives and negatives. That these people know that they're being filmed, but they're okay with that for whatever reasons that they personally have.
So do you reckon this kind of a way of doing documentary would be a popular trend?
I don't know. Yes. So my research is looking into it from a commercial point of view. Is it commercially viable? Does it work? Does it work in all the different types of documentaries?
Who knows?
Yes, it's literally who knows. That is part of my research, to know whether a documentary production company would want to use this style, and whether a broadcaster would even take it. Yes, it's all part of it, and the simple answer is right now.
Let's wait and see.
I do not know.
Good. And you know what? When you mentioned about participatory documentary, it kind of connects with my PhD projects as well, because I am doing some participatory theater. But the difference is you are going to enter a specific community to interview them and then film them. Whereas for me, I'm going to enter a specific group of people into a community and listen to their stories, doing interviews at the same time, and write a script for them and make a performance.
Do they then need to act that performance?
If they want, they could, but different people have different ways of doing, Like for me, I'm not going to let my group of people to be the actor because they are Chinese migrant laborers in Serbia. So they have already got loads of work to do. So I prefer to cast a group of actors to perform it. Yes, that's a connection between our two PhD projects.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So the next question would connect it to community, because I have watched several of your videos on your YouTube channel last night. A lot of work, a lot of research. And you are popular on YouTube. What struck me the most was that you went deep into the naturalist community and made a documentary about this group of people gathering together naked.
Indeed.
Can you tell us a little bit more about this experience?
Gosh, yes. So yes, one of my PhD documentaries was to go to a naturist community, and I went along and joined the what were they called? The Christian Naturist Fellowship.
That's the word. Yes.
Yes, and they're an organisation of Christian naturists.
Huh.
So we've got Christianity, and we've got naturists, people that enjoy being naked, and combining the two together. And it was an eye-opening experience.
And even you, as a filmmaker, were naked.
Yeah, I think it's very good when you are, as it's academically called, ethnographically going into the community. I think you've got to
be equal to.
Yes. You've got to sort of get your kit off. And
did you feel awkward at the first moment?
The awkwardness, it goes away after about 5 or 10 minutes because everyone is naked, and when everyone is naked, you don't really feel self-conscious.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like about 200 people. I think 200 people have seen me naked now. Yeah, it's horrendous. It's not a sight you want to see. But yeah, it was fascinating. It was eye-opening. I got to spend the whole weekend with the group. The most amazing experience were the baptisms, which they baptized people in the swimming pool.
Oh yeah.
So we had water baptisms. Yeah, that was an incredible experience.
When I see the moments, on your video, I think that would probably be a therapy process for this community of people. Am I correct?
I wouldn't call it therapy. It's people wanting to either acknowledge or re-acknowledge their love of God. So they wanted to get baptized or re-baptized during this week, but within the context of their naturism that they also love, and it was an eye-opening experience, obviously for the naked side, but also hearing from the people themselves and how many of them are, I wouldn't say ostracized, but they're not able to combine the two loves together. That the church, that Christianity, isn't positive towards their naturism, which I find quite fascinating, because at the end of the day, it's just people taking their clothes off, which in my opinion isn't very insulting, and it's certainly not illegal. But some people just don't like it. So it's unfortunately quite frowned upon within the church to worship naked, as these people want to do. So this organisation exists so that they can get together, be naked, and worship Christianity.
How long did this organisation has been, running?
Oh, good question, and not an answer I can give you, because I'm not an expert on the organisation.
Right?
I did not ask how long it's been running for, so I don't know. I went in and had a great weekend with them.
That's the whole point of doing this documentary film.
Yes, but I will of course add that I'm not a naturist, and I do not practice it in my spare time.
No, no.
As a documentary filmmaker, I will happily go in and be an anthropologist and assimilate in with the community.
Yeah.
But yes, it's not my cup of tea outside of those realms.
Understanding, harmony, peace, and love.
Yes.
And what else we talked about last night?
Oh gosh, it was that we talked about many things last night, didn't we?
Yeah. Because there's loads of different people, from different background. They have their own faith, but we just need to respect for them, right?
Yeah.
Understand them.
Yeah, it's not our place to judge.
Yeah,
they've got their culture.
Yeah.
We've got our culture.
Yeah.
at no point should we be putting our culture on someone else, should we? We shouldn't be telling other people how to think or how to act. It's not our place. It's not our hobby. It's not our organization. It's not our culture. It's not our country. You know what I mean? We just stay open and respect people.
Yeah, exactly. And for creators, I think, like you as a filmmaker, probably will listen to the stories, just want to present their stories in front of a group of audience at the end, and let their voices to be heard. And we even don't care that much about the criticals, judgments, I think that's the whole point of artwork.
Yeah, we're not here to judge.
No.
And I think ethically speaking, creators start potentially putting themselves into a tricky position. I think looking at the internet today, I would say that if you are aligned with an organization or you are aligned academically with an institution, then I think a lot of people sort of just stay open, which I think is a good thing. But yes, nowadays we are seeing more and more creators who are very much staying on one side and putting their views across, and all sorts of fake news and all the rest of it that's coming out, or very, very unethical behaviour to generate views, which I think is an important one. Yes, dodgy thumbnails on YouTube, or dodgy titles that are just quite literally lying to the people just to get you to click into the video. Yes, there is a lot of that nowadays, but
all around the world.
Yeah. So Britain's Naked Christians, which you can watch on YouTube if you just type that into the YouTube search, Britain's Naked Christians.
So my question next comes to, since you have been entering to so many different kinds of community group of people, in the future, what kind of communities would you be interested in? Let's say marginalized people. What kind of types of people you would like to film, interview them?
I don't know. What would I like to do? I don't know. I'm quite literally open to anything. Anything that's eye-opening, that's fascinating.
Probably do a documentary film of your daughter's classmates who are learning Chinese nowadays.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it'd be fascinating.
Yeah.
It would be fascinating. I don't know. I am completely open to anything and everything. Yeah.
What made you to make the decision? Okay, I am going to apply for a PhD. I'm going for another 4 years doing academic work. What made you do so? Is that a tricky question?
No, it's it's a combination question. Combination answer. I really enjoyed my masters.
In the same university, right?
No, different. So I went to the University of Portsmouth to do my masters, which I loved. I enjoyed it so much that I actually wanted to carry on. And the topic that I'm doing now for my PhD, I actually also did for my masters. My masters was to see whether the format, the sort of the documentary style that I'm doing, whether or not it would work. But basically a simple yes or no. Does this thing work? I finished my masters and it was a yes, it does work. My PhD is then going, right, it works for one documentary, great, but does it actually work within a format? Can you use this style across the entire documentary space? Can you take the format into a naturist community and do a fun documentary? Yes, you can. Can you take it into a hospital with critically ill people and it's a very sad documentary? Don't know. But should I be finding out? Yes, I should be. You know what I mean? Can the style be used with a celebrity on a celebrity thing? Can it be used in all different genres? Effectively, is it viable as an actual solution within documentary and isn't just a
sustainable?
Yes,
right?
Exactly. Is it a sustainable format that can actually genuinely be used? That's what the PhD is. So I still had all this work to do. So the PhD was just a natural progression to be able to do it.
A practice-based, right?
Yeah, practice-based. And I've got the most amazing supervisor in the world, Dr. Pete Turner at Oxford Brookes. He is outstanding. He is brilliant. He makes it completely worth it. He's the only reason why I went to Oxford Brookes, admittedly, and I'm happy to say that publicly. The guy is brilliant.
Lucky you.
I don't know about that, but no, it rubs off from Dr. Turner. Trust me. He's great, and so it makes it really fun and really rewarding to do. So there's sort of that side, but there's also just continuation of self-learning. As I sort of said, I really enjoyed doing my masters, and I wanted to carry on. The work wasn't quite finished.
But like my question comes next would be, doing academic, would it help your creative industry experience, or are these two stuff connected?
Oh yeah, I would have said so. I think it's fascinating to be able to connect the dots of the practice work with the academic theoretical work, to be able to have a greater understanding of what I'm doing, and then once I've got that understanding, being able to actually then change or develop certain parts of my work with knowing and with that full understanding of the academic side of it. I think it does make it far more interesting.
And probably after you got your PhD degree, it would probably give you more credits on your own field, right?
Oh God, gosh, yes,
definitely, right?
Yeah, you finish a PhD and you put a doctor at the end of your name, which is quite nice. You also do a PhD, and obviously we've met at the conference of the British Association of Film and Television Screen Studies. So you meet lots of people. I think it's just good personal development just to keep going.
And that's why you were awarded the MBE honor. Is that true?
It's all kind of wrapped up in it, but yes, yeah.
Tell us, tell the audience who have no idea about this honor. Can you do a basic introduction about MBE?
MBE. Yes, I was given an MBE in King Charles's first birthday honours a couple of years ago. Absolutely fantastic honour. Incredible to be recognised. My understanding is that is that 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever people submit for you to be put into one of these awards, and I was submitted without my knowledge. I had no idea, and then it goes. I was told it goes through about 5 boards of people where everyone's names sort of get whittled down until the final few. And some people decided I was worth giving an MBE to for my work. But it's not just my PhD work. My actual work is seen by a lot of people, tens of millions of people. I don't know, I'm guessing this, but 300 million plus people have seen my work, probably not knowing I'm connected to it, but they have, and that was seen as a fantastic achievement, and great for Britain, and
and which means you are regarded as a very professional, top-ranking filmmaker in this world, right?
Yeah, not. I wouldn't big myself up that much, but working hard, definitely working hard.
Yeah, and you are you are going to continue leave some of your marks in the world. To be continued, right?
Yes.
Your stories, your
Gosh,
documentary film, right?
Yeah, there are many more coming. So yes, do stay tuned and stay on the YouTube channel, and there is more.
So probably the very last question.
Mm-hmm.
What's your plan for the next 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years?
Good question. So I have some bigger documentaries that are in the pipeline that I can't talk about on this podcast.
Secret.
Very secret. There's more sort of smaller documentaries coming out on the channel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I need to write a book. It's a very academic thing to be an author and write a book. I think I've got one book penciled that I need to do at some point, which is basically the PhD. I think a lot of people finish their PhDs and then publish a book based on their PhD.
Yeah.
So I think I need to get that tick in the box at some point, as I'm sure you will need to do.
Hopefully.
and then I don't know, maybe I'll do a book about documentaries or something.
More about techniques, or teach people how to, film, or more about, the basic knowledge.
That's a good question, and I haven't worked it out yet.
Oh.
But yeah, I've got many plans that I need to do.
And learning Chinese.
Exciting time. Yes, and the next time I see you, hopefully there'll be a little bit more than ni hao and pinghua.
Yeah, definitely. I think you are really good, quick learner of language.
Oh no, my daughter, and my wife are far better than I am.
Your daughter is
she's a Hoover.
Sort of your heritage.
Yes, but she is a Hoover of Mandarin and language compared. And my wife wants to get my daughter onto Arabic at some point as well. Arabic.
Another language.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah, and please bring your daughter and wife back to China.
Oh, they would take you up on that in a heartbeat.
And that is one of your to-do list as well in the near future, right?
Yeah, will you put us up?
Yeah. And I'll lead you visit Shanghai, Beijing, or other cities all around China.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
And let's speak Mandarin. Okay, so I think we had a really, really pleasant time of a dialogue, a conversation, a podcast, right? And let's seize the moment that we are having at the moment. And I think I'll keep following your channel on YouTube and look forward to meeting you at the next academic conference.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shuai.
Thank you so much, James Dunlop MBE.
Thank you so much for having me.